Hi guys, today I'm going to do a quick tutorial on how to set up your own egg shape or oval component in Grasshopper like the one I've got here. This is a pretty simple component that's got an origin point, it's got the distance between your circles, got the radius of the middle circle or C1, and the radius of the side circles. This is a pretty simple little script to set up. In Grasshopper, doesn't actually have an oval component. It's got your circles and your ellipse, but ellipse of course isn't an oval. So in order to set this one up, the simple script is only this long. We need to know two functions, and those are as this. So when you're drawing an oval, you need to know your radiuses of your two circles. Of course, if you want to do an egg shape, the two outer circles will be different radiuses. And then from this, you have to calculate P, as shown here underneath the diagram, and the Y, which is the center. Y equals the center of your oval circle, and the P is the radius of the large circle. Then to get your oval, of course, you have to replicate it for the top and bottom, which we will do in the tutorial. So let's get started. We'll create a new Grasshopper document. We've got Rhino set up to the side with just the top view shown. First step is, of course, we want to create our vector. So we're going to go under vector, construct point. This gives us a point at 0, 0, 0. Then we're going to set up our inputs. So we want a number slider from 1 to, say, 100. We'll copy that twice, just by moving and then holding down the Alt button. What we're going to do is we're going to name each of them based on our diagram of oval of what we want. So we've got A, R, capital R for the large radius, lowercase r for the small radius, and A is the distance between the two radiuses. So just to keep track of that, we'll put A, capital R, and then finally lowercase r. Increase them a little bit. Alright. Beautiful. Alright, now that we've got our main inputs, we're going to draw the middle circle, which of course extends out from our origin point. Of course, your origin point could be something on your building or your site. But for this, we're just going to use origin 0, 0, 0. Makes it easier. We're going to grab a circle. Origin point will be our point, and the radius is capital R for our circle 1 radius. I made that a little bit bigger. Okay, that looks good. Now for our second circle, we're going to move our origin point along the X direction. So vector, under the vector tab, unit X. We're going to grab our A, which is our distance between them. We're going to grab a transform Euclidean move component. We're going to move our original point in the X in that direction, and then we're going to draw a circle. We'll click, hold down Alt and drag. We'll take this G, which is our other, as that, and our second radius is actually lowercase r for circle 2. You see, now we might just push that out. So now you can start to see where we're going to get our oval shape forming around the two circles. Alright, now that we've done that, we want to do our circle over the top. So what we're going to do is we're going to set up our two evaluate. So that's under math. I'm going to grab script, evaluate function. Now the first one, we're going to right click, middle click, put it in a group, and that's going to be our Y, just so we know what we're doing. And we need to zoom in and we add an extra input, so we have X, Y, Z, and we're going to select all that, control copy, control V, and right click and just quickly change the color of that so it's clear. Color, make it green or something. That is an ugly color, but it'll do, and that will be our P. And now we've got our two functions we need to put in. If we look back at our oval, P equals a squared plus r squared minus lowercase r squared divided by 2 times uppercase R minus lowercase r. So we need to put that in Cartesian maths, or whatever it's called. So we do 2 parentheses. What are we going to do here? Well, what we're going to do is we're going to change uppercase, just to keep this clear. I think we're going to change that to A and have lowercase r as uppercase R as X and lowercase r as R. Of course, we don't want to have 2 inputs with the same, because that will just confuse Grasshopper. But by keeping the rest of them the same, it keeps me a bit more sane. So now we're going to put in our X minus R squared minus A squared divided by 2 times, what was it, capital R, which is X, minus lowercase r, and close out the parentheses. That should be correct. Hopefully that error is simply because we don't have any inputs, so lowercase a, capital R to X, and lowercase r to R. And there we go. That gives us our Y value. And now we'll add in our P. So let's go back to our mathematical equation for working out the radius of our large circle. That is, I've done these backwards, haven't I? Did I do that correctly? That is Y. X r minus a squared. Yep. Alright, so for P, we've got a squared plus capital R. Yep, I did them around the wrong way. That's alright. So we'll double click on this. We'll open up a parentheses. A squared plus X, which is our capital R squared, minus lowercase r squared, close the parentheses, divided by the new parentheses, 2 times X minus lowercase r, close your parentheses, and that should give us our P. So put our lowercase r in, uppercase R to X, and lowercase a, which is our distance, and that gives us our P, which we know is the radius of our large circle. Now if we use them, we'll select this existing circle, hold down Alt and drag it down. We'll take our Y, which is our point, which is incorrect because I need to move the point. That's the distance we're moving it. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to vector, grab a Y vector. We're going to move, go to transform, Euclidean move. We're going to take our original point, we're moving it in the y vector, and our y is our distance. So there you have it. Now we're going to use that as our point of origin. That looks a bit better. That's what we're expecting. Now we're going to take our r, we're going to put that in as our radius. And there we can see how our oval is being formed, which looks perfect. So it will be split here, it comes down here, where it joins here, we split that, and it'll run around here really smoothly. Now what we're going to do is we're going to make a copy of this, so we've got that circle on that side, just to keep it a bit more neater, and we'll know what we're working with as well. Let's just tidy this up a little bit. Bring this over here. Now we have all the maths in place. It's a simple matter of just duplicating it. We might just line up all our circles. There's our geometry. There's our maths. So we want to do another circle 2. So that's our circle 1. Might actually just put that in a group. Right click. E1. Then I'm going to highlight both of these. Click and drag and then hold down Alt to copy. Now obviously we've just copied the same one, but if we times our transform to x times -1, that will reverse our number. There we get that circle on that side, and just like that. So there our C2, them in a group as well, C2. This is a really good habit to get into, just naming your objects, because if you finish or someone else picks up your script, they can look at it straight away and know what you've done. I find it incredibly helpful. So what we're going to do is we're going to do the same thing there. We'll grab all of this, we'll hold down Alt again, then we'll times our move location by -1. So under expression, x times -1, it changes, and that gives us our other half of our oval. Group them, call them oval. Even though it's not complete, I know what I mean, and anybody with half a brain should be able to figure out what that means as well. Alright, now that we've got our main circles, that one, these, we're done with C1, we no longer need C1. You'll use C1 if you want to do an egg-shaped oval. So keep it there, because I'll show you the code for that later, but it's not really required since I'm doing a pure oval for this example. The next step is to find your intersection points. So under the intersection tab, under the physical tab, got curve. What we're going to do is we're going to find all of our intersection points. So we'll duplicate that 4 times between each circle. So we want this circle, our bottom circle B with A, and that creates our intersection point there. Do the same for the other circle, and now for the top side, put the oval into C, and then our C2s into A. That gives us all of our points where our circles intersect. Alright, now we've got that, we want to shatter our circles. This is an incredibly simple tutorial. I'm hoping some people find it helpful. So what we're doing is we're going to shatter our curve. So we'll do the same here. We'll copy that 4 times. We've got all the information. The curves are, of course, C1. What we got? C1. We'll take B and B. Hide these circles so we don't see what we're doing. Wrong. On A and A. Oh, it's giving us a list. Oh, it's been ages since I've had to do this. One circular curve. What have I done wrong? What have we got going? We got that curve. Shattering. That curve is B. Curve is... Ah. God, it helps if I'm using the right components. That's where the problem's coming from. There we go. See, now we've split it into 2. I had the wrong intersection points. I had them on the 2 different circles. So if I select these 2, they should be on the right circles. So if we go again for this one, we're going to take that, and then we're going to take the B. Oh no, what we want is we want our top circle. I believe is this one. No, that's bottom. There was a system to my madness. So B and B. Give us 2. Yep, that's correct. And now for the last one, we want our bottom one. So we're going to split our other circle, which is this one. Split that between this and this. That's A and TA. And then our bottom one, we're going to take that and we're going to take B and B. Correct? I don't think that's correct. What I'm going to do is I'm going to unpreview all of this. List item. Go in here, we're going to hit that. Yeah, that's my problem. It's on the wrong, I'm splitting it on the wrong things. Preview. Alright, I need to split it over there, don't I? Preview. That's what I want. Let's take this down here, throw that in there. Take that, throw it in there too. Yep. And then we'll put in a 1. That should give us the correct curve. Right, finally. Just make sure we've got this all correct. Beautiful. So just copying and pasting my list items and changing the list over. There's another one I've done wrong. Look at that. Amateur mistake. You don't see that very often, but I can't be bothered starting the video over. So we'll just do it on the fly. Mistakes happen. That's just the nature of Grasshopper. That one's correct. Very happy with that. So this one is wrong. What have we done here? We got that. Where are we getting our other point from? And then we've got preview. Got that and that. That's not what we want. We've got the oval. We don't want that, do we? We want this point. We want this B. and this point B. That to 1. And there we have our oval. Finally, better late than never. I'm going to hide this. We don't need to see this. Whether you like it or not, these things happen all the time. We're going to hide all of our code and preview that. Now we want to join that into a curve, which is simple. Utility, join curves under the curve tab. One of them on, and then we just simply connect them in, holding down shift. We can now hide, unpreview all of that. Make it just an oval that is fully editable. It's not perfect, it does have its limits, but for the majority of reasons why you'd want an oval within Grasshopper or your project, this sort of script should work. Lovely. Alright, to turn it into a neat little component like you saw I had at the start, really, they make it really simple in Grasshopper. So for our inputs, for each of our inputs, what we're going to do is we're going to do it in our standard view. We're going to go to parameter, utility, cluster input. We can hold Alt. We know we've got 4. I'm going to double click on this. Name, origin point, nickname O, origin point for oval. Fill these out for anybody who uses our work afterwards or anybody that you might share your component with. Name A, nickname. I don't really like using the nicknames. I like to use, for this we'll just use the nickname. Name, distance of C1, C2, sorry. Distance from oval origin to C2 center. Should use the correct terminology, center. Okay. Next one is name. C1 radius, R radius of C1. Perfect. And finally, name. C2 radius. R radius of C2. Done. So there are our cluster inputs that will be replaced. We're replacing all of this information with. So origin goes in here. This is of course going to break our script, but we're not worried about that for now. There goes there, here, and in here. We've missed one. In there. A of course feeds this. Feeds our other. That's all that's used for. No, that should be in there as well. Okay. Radius is X. X. And in case you need it in the future, we'll keep that circle. And C2 radius. Also into the geometry radiuses. And we'll leave them here. And then for our output, under parameter utility, we'll grab our cluster output. That there, and we'll just call that oval. Oval. Oval curve. Now we've got all that set up. It's just a matter of selecting all of our script, excluding our original inputs. We hit our middle mouse button and then we hit cluster. We zoom in, there's our oval cluster. We double click, it opens up so we can edit it in the future. What I don't like is I don't like that. I'm going to call that C since it's a curve, and that will clean it up a little bit back in our main document. Or not. That's because I went for... Oh no, it should. Oh look, it doesn't matter. You guys know what I mean. So our origin point goes in the O, lowercase a, r, and boom. There we have our neat little cluster for an oval. Now if you want to create an egg shape, obviously all you need to do, as I've done here, is you simply split it into two so that for each of your C2s they can have separate radiuses. So here I've called them R1 and R2, and it allows you to make them further apart and have their own radius, and it continues holding it. So it's the exact same process, it's just split into two, into one curve. And it's that simple. Alright guys, I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you end up using this, please like and subscribe, and peace.